sort of this thing called Inventing the South Florida Urban Region. And once the music starts, that should be 9 minutes. We'll see, okay? But so 2 parts, and that's it. So it's good to have behind this. This is really quite good. This is very nice. Joanne and the graphic designer. Okay, so in the pre-dawn, the era of Kim and Marie, there was this College of Social Science created a MERP degree through some process whose name I forgot. What was that process called to sort of get new programs for Broward? CUP.
Comprehensive.
Yeah, see,
Comprehensive University Present.
yeah, okay, see, I forgot it. All right, we've been there, but I would have remembered it. But all right, Department of Geography sort of created this planning program which had 3 faculty lines in the GIS lab. And they were really after the GIS lab. They hired 2 faculty members. They promptly vanquished them to Broward.
Who is that?
Vanquished. Yeah. Because, Broward was sort of the stepchild, but it was the place at which you could get CUP funds to start new programs. Then I came on in 1989, and almost before I got here, Stan Hilly and a bunch of other people had sort of created this proposal to create a separate college of urban and public affairs, which, as Rosalind has said, consisted of 9 faculty and 2 departments and a bunch of chutzpah. So the challenge, at least the challenge as I saw it, was to create something, nurture it, grow it, and to sort of challenge myself and my colleagues to create something that was beyond the capacity of South Florida to handle. My view is that South Florida was very parochial, had no sense of excellence. And how could we, in fact, create a center of excellence here in South Florida, in both a state that was not used to it, and a university, quite frankly, in the late 80s was really just a commuter school. So how do you do that? How do you build this institution that has, that adds value? So now I have to figure out, without a mouse, I'm sort of, where is it? All right, here we go. Test.
Go backwards.
I took it off? Obviously, by sort of going. Right. Okay, thank you. So on November 4th, 1989, Florida Board of Regents created CUPA and DERP. It consisted of this, and shortly thereafter, Berlin Wall fell. And this piece of music is actually a piece of music that the Berlin Symphony played at the fall of the wall. This is Beethoven's 7th Symphony. But soon after that, or terminus with that, we had the first African-American governor in the United States, we had the first African-American mayor, the Cold War ended, and Tony Candies became president of FAU, and we, of course, in CUPA, take credit for all of this. So November 4th is a pretty interesting day. Abraham Lincoln got married, established, London subway opened, not so good stuff, the Russian invasion of Hungary, Florence Italy floods, embassy seized, typhoon ruined Thailand, the Orlando Magic had their first game and lost. CUPA was established and won. And a year ago, as you know, Barack Obama was elected president of the United States. So the first 6 years, this drive to initial accreditation. And the things that I sort of remember are need to get 25 people to actually complete an unaccredited SURP degree to help us get accredited. We focused on growth management, high-tech, PAB curriculum requirements. We started to establish presence in the professional and academic organizations. We tried to build a faculty. We had a bunch of these early students who I'm very fond of, who were sort of above and beyond the call of duty to sort of help us do what we wanted to do. Oops. The result was we were reasonably successful. I had an accreditation visit where the only thing that they told us was, congratulations. It was actually quite remarkable. So then we have the middle years. We have the middle years from 1995 to 2003. It gets a bit fuzzy. Dennis Gale, Margaret Murray, and myself sort of doing administrative stuff. A bunch of people coming and going, and an identity as a vanilla planning program, meeting the curriculum requirements, some energy in visual planning technology, and more engagement in the local community. This was also a time that FAU was growing, the insistence of an architecture program, the creation of that BURP, which I guess I remember that long conversation, really. And CALPA, as it currently is construed, was created when architecture, social work, and criminal justice all sort of came together in the current configuration. In that time period, as a newly accredited planning program, we hosted the 1997 ACSP conference, had a big GIS grant to help the city of Fort Lauderdale get their GIS program working. They did not have one. And other things in between, waterway cleanups. BAPS was always active. We moved to this building, and then in 2002, 2003, started this lecture series and this planning abroad exercise. The results of during this period I called the blip. Yes, we were able to get accredited twice, but at one point in the sort of a bad fiscal year, somebody asked what the salvage value was. And with due respect to Dr. Dean, he couldn't afford it. Okay, so since then, you can't hear me, I'm turning it down. So 2003 to 2009, subtitle Invest Little, and you can figure out what the rest of that means. Yop was tenured. We made him chair, good thing. A bunch of people came and gone with sort of the current faculty, which I must tell you, this is the best faculty I've ever been around. There is such love and affection among us, such sort of desire to go forward together. It's really quite remarkable. Greater engagement in local, national, and international organizations, planning excellence program, which is actually support so that we could move to full-time students, and this M4 Monday morning meeting of the minds, which is sort of we actually sit together for 2 hours and talk about research as a faculty. It's unheard of. We've been doing it for 2 years, and I think we're going to keep doing it. And I forgot the solo roof. I'm sorry. It's okay. Minor stuff. So in this time period, we did a bunch of activities, and one of them was that Yakutis taught us how to make lists on PowerPoints. So he likes this. He likes this technique. And so there they are. Okay, and there's the Planning Abroad program. This is sort of a capsule of where we've been and what we've done. Year, place, the kind of program it was, what the subject was, and then the green boxes are sort of publications that have come out of those experiences. So you can see it sort of started as study tours, it became projects, became exchange programs with Sam Morris loves this and says it's a hallmark of what we do. But the real thing of what we do is, what is our added value to this community, to FAU? And this slide sort of tries to sort of say, yes, we have local ties, yes, we have state ties, we clearly have national ties, we clearly have international ties. We are a magnet. People like what we do. People come to see us. People want to know what we do. So it's not just reaching out, it's people coming in. We have a bunch of graduates. We don't know how many Burke graduates because the server was down. But we do have graduates working on 4 continents that we know of. So if anybody finds anybody in Australia, let me know. Okay? This is sort of what Rosalind always tells you not to do. Don't talk this academic stuff. It's true. So I make this real quick. This is sort of some things that we've done in academic recognition, some things we've done with student recognition. And I think the important thing is 3 years in a row we had the Florida APA Student of the Year. I think that's the really important thing in this notion of publishing, out of planning projects. So I think the result is that we are a healthy and energetic program. We're a master's level program that on occasion, most of the time, really behaves like a PhD department. Now we sort of expect our students to be producers of knowledge. We say from the very first day, assume the status. And they, the students, have almost a distinguished record of publication. And the last thing is that we've sort of been on this word phrase for the past year and a half, creating the South Florida School of Thought. And that's sort of really the gist of the second half of what I did. So, first, where's Kara?
You made this. You know what it is. Oh, you need that last week back up stuff.
I need you. Okay. Yeah. Start slow. Cool. Okay.
There you go.
So the second half is really about sort of, it's less precise. It's really about the process of invention or creation of something called the South Florida region. And at the end, there's no prescription. There's just sort of ways to think. So when we started thinking about tonight, there was sort of 2 things that people said we should do. One was to think about planning in the future, and the second was to think about South Florida in the future. And I guess it was my intent always to talk about South Florida in the future, the object. But it's both. So South Florida is actually quite a unique place, unique on the planet. It's the only place on the planet that's a metropolitan region that does not have a dominant central city. Miami is 404,000. And if they complain to the census, which they did last week, they're 438,000. No central city, the only place on the planet. We are built out. If the boundary is correct and severe, we're built out. And we actually start to see us building back, folding back. We are polycentric. That's an anathema to planners who are obsessed with the notion of center. We're the 7th largest city in the United, 7th largest metropolitan area in the United States. In terms of population, similar to Seattle, Barcelona, and others, we have